Test, test, one, two, test.
Okay, good evening, members, and welcome to our committee meeting tonight. We just agenda item 1 is apologies, and I have an apology from Councillor Paul Duffy, and I believe I'm going to be joining shortly here by Zoom. Is there any apologies on the floor? Okay, thank you, members. We'll go into agenda item 2 is our declarations of interest. If we're happy, we'll take them as we go along. We're happy with that. Thank you. And agenda item 3 then is our business plans. We're going to ask Paul Kamati to give us he's here for if there's any items that anyone wants to raise with us here. 3.1, the 6-monthly business plan progress report. It's an item for information, but if anyone has any comments, Councillor Flaherty.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and thanks all the officers involved in this. For a couple of a lot of questions, but a couple in particular. And I can just start. It's actually just to begin action reference EBS2, which is the town centre first approach piece there. Looks all very well there until we get sort of down towards the last. And just interestingly, I've just come actually from Borough Chamber of Commerce there. I had to leave early because they were in their full flight pre-Christmas brief and planning. And I have to say I'm very proud of them in Borough Chamber. They've really, truthfully, I think mostly to do with our new town centre manager. I have to say I've got their act seriously together in the last 6 to 8 months, in particular the last couple of weeks. It has been quite something. I've been involved in that chamber from, well, when I'm ready, and all that. It's been the great history of that in our group. And there's just a couple of questions were pertinent to this evening, and also this. The first is about the BPA. A few questions raised even just there this evening about the BPA. And there's sort of some of the answers there from Peter Ambers and I read there, but if I could just have maybe later on after this meeting, or you could furnish me just with the general achievements that you feel the BPA have made, particularly in the last year, engagement to date that BPA have had with the local chamber of commerce, in particular for down, of course, and any future plans for engagement there, because I think there's a bit of a feeling that they're maybe just not as linked with some of the chambers as they should be or could be. And also, if you move on down a little bit about the town centre action plans, when are we going to see those? I know they're in draft, but and they're working very hard on the town centre managers. And we'll get Christmas over. We're looking forward to seeing something on tour. Been talked about for quite a while now, but some sight of those plans would be very useful. That's all right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Flaherty, for your questions. Around the BPA, like any organisation that we would be working with in that regard, have to produce an action plan for us, and they have to produce a report to say what they had achieved against that action plan. So I can certainly furnish you with that after the meeting. I don't have all the right? And it's lovely of you to acknowledge the work of the town centre manager, and we're also delighted that the chamber are working very hard under a new chair as well. So that's all to be very, very positive. So I can certainly furnish you with that after the meeting. And then in relation to the town centre action plans, as you know, each town centre manager was tasked with doing an action plan along with the Chamber of Commerce within their particular town. And these will be brought to the next task force meeting of the task forces, which will meet at their next regular interval. I'm not sure exactly when that is, but I believe they meet every 3 months. Yeah. But I can give you the date or the dates of those meetings as well. And that's when those action plans will be presented.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yes, those meetings are 3 monthly. I believe we had one for Portdown maybe in September, so it would be the new year. Would probably be very useful just after the Christmas period. And we'll see how Portdown does. But like I have to say, I'll say it again, like the enthusiasm from Portdown Chamber even this evening. We have over 30 businesses opening late on Friday night, which is unheard of. It's marvellous. You know, so we can encourage as many people as possible into Portdown on Friday evening, and with 2 exhibitions opening at the same time, so there's going to be a lot of buzz about the time. So yes, that's great. We'll look forward to that at the task force. With regards to back to the BPA issue, it would be actually, I think it would be quite useful for me to see how other members feel if we could maybe have a presentation from them, invite them probably to this committee at some point, because maybe it's my own misunderstanding. Maybe we haven't just been fully appraised of that over the last wee while, perhaps. And so if that could be organised, I think that would be very useful.
Yeah, no issue with that. They did reach out and they've met with myself and the chair of this committee and they did meet with the director. We had a very good meeting with them actually. It's happened, I think it was, and we to get an update of what all they were doing at that stage. So they definitely had give us quite a bit of information and we asked them quite a lot of questions around what their plans were and stuff, and they're plenty there. So I don't think there's any issue. No objections to bring them in the committee now. I'm happy with it as an action there. I think we'll invite them to come at some stage of the committee. Thanks, Sir Barry. You were going next.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Good minds think alike. Julie, it's not just one thing. I thought we did engage with them quite regular and sort of when they did start, and I think it's probably something we should put on a rolling basis now. They should come in front of us, or nice to see them in front of us once a year, just to sort of catch up with them and have that close relationship with them. But I totally agree with you 100%. The work that they do is very important, but especially our Chamber of Commerce is important in other areas. In relation to the performance indicators here, there's mention in relation to the urban ABC, and when we're talking about performance indicators, it's the only part of the agenda that I can see I can raise this, and that's in relation to rural ABC. And Paul, at one of our previous meetings, I raised the need or the ambition to have a rural ABC social media platform, because that urban ABC seems to work very well for the larger towns, and I was assured that progress would be made on that. So, talking about performance indicators, it'd be nice to see that it's not this. Can we update as to where we are in relation to the rolling of that out?
Thank you. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're all valid comments and all great comments, and it's good to see that all of these things are going out and being picked up on. Urban ABC has been very, very successful, and there's one officer that is driving that, and certainly the ambition is to include the rural businesses within urban ABC, and that's something that officer will be working on. There's a lot of other things that are on at the moment, as you can as you can understand and appreciate with Christmas, etc. But that will be one of the key challenges coming up in the new year.
I think when Barry looking back.
Yes, appreciate that. I know it was open ended at the last meeting, but I would like it more closer ended. So I would like a time frame. I would like to know exactly sort of an outline of when this is going to start, because rural businesses are paying just as much rates as other places and need that coverage as well, need that support. So I appreciate your comments, Nicola. You weren't at that meeting, but it's good to get something agreed in principle. I would like a time frame to see this rolled out, because it's something that, in my humble opinion, could be rolled out very easily.
It's not
Or maybe just coming on it. Listen, I think it's a valid point, and certainly the rural ABC probably as an entity as it sits, as we have a rule, as we have with everyone, we're good to see it rolled out. For us, we need to incorporate maybe in the next business plan and stuff like that. And we'll probably do a lot of work in the background to be able to bring that forward, probably quick smart as part of that process. So that's probably the timescale that we sit around and probably see in these business plans to be able to move forward properly. But that's probably something that we'll discuss and bring forward to members next year.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, just concur everything Alderman Barry has said there, but the rural businesses, a lot of our businesses are been totally, isolated from thanks to the sea urban getting publicized all the time, and rural businesses that don't get that, so that needs to be done. The model is there, so just this hold on exercise, in my eyes, something like that should be done easily, because as Alderman Barry said, like the rural businesses pay the rates.
Yourself and stuff right up that valley down with the art lamp.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the videos and stuff and you see it up on social media. Gets a lot of traction. Other and some of the kids with the students and stuff, and then type it out and get videos and all around the place for a project. So it all adds in. So yeah, all comments. So members, if we're all happy to note then. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Can I just make quick reference to EDSO 8 in relation to managing staff absence? Can someone just give me a little bit of clarity around the figures presented here? They seem to differ greatly to the ones given in the tourism department. So, it indicates, March 2025, the target 16 days or lower, and the baseline is 33.95. Could I just a wee bit of clarity around what the baseline figure represents?
Okay. In relation to the baseline, it would be taken over an average for the department. And but I need to just clarify that a little bit more for you, Alderman Moodford.
Okay, thank you. And can I ask how many staff would that refer to approximately?
That would refer approximately to 2 members of staff. It's a small department.
Okay. Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, members, no one else is indicated there, so happy note. Thank you. Agenda item 4.1 then, is there learning legacies project? This is the decision item, so I'll ask Nicola to give it this one.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. 4.1 is indeed Learning Linkages project, and there's 3 decisions required this evening. To note the Learning Linkages report from OGU and MMAS Architects, approved procurement and appointment of an integrated design team to progress both Blacks Court and Moores Lane as part of Learning Linkages scheme, and to approve officers to progress a funding application to DFC to secure funding for the Learning Linkages scheme.
Councillor Savage indicated.
Yeah, just thanks, Chair. Happy to propose. It's great to see us coming forward now. So it is. So
Happy to second, Chair. And hope the time frame won't be too long.
Okay, so we have a proposed and second. Any other comments on it? Councillor Robert, yep.
Thank you, Terry. I just want to add the previous figures. There's a couple of really exciting projects in there. The only query would have, it talks about 2025, 26 for a delivery timeline. Would you know if we do put the application when we will hear about that confirmed or not, particularly to get the first initial Black Court project off the line? I know there's been, obviously behavior various issues over the year, and it is kind of like near the border between a well-used car park at the back of the southern bar. And many people use that as the kind of the main car park to get into that central town area. The sooner we can get that upgraded, the better. But just any sort of those initial timelines at this stage. But I think it's really, really good, not just for this Black Book project, but for Moores Lane, and then the really exciting one, Carnegie Street. I'll understand why the costs are a bit high there, so maybe it's a bit further down the road. Pretty good news story for learning.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chair, yes, we're hoping that we're working with DSC on this, who will be coming in with the funding behind the project. This is really to start and to kick started to get to a situation where we can actually put that application into DSC. And we've been advised that it is tentatively on the forward work plan. So therefore we're working towards the timescales that they have. So hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, thank you. Members, we're all agreed? Great, thank you. Agenda item 4.2 and 4.3 are for information, but Nick was just going to mention 4.2.
Thank you so much, Chair. Yes, this is in relation to local economic partnership, and I'm sure members, you have been at various meetings and discussions around this, as we have been as well. Just to talk you through it a little bit. The Minister for the Economy, Conor Murphy, announced a commitment to a more regionally balanced economy, and to try to make sure that even the sub-regions outside of Belfast get an opportunity to have their economic action plans, and that what the government funding is being used is what the sub-region needs as well. So the new approach to all of this is that each council area will form its local economic partnership, and is trying for council to head this up, but to work with all our stakeholders across the area to come up with a proposition that meets meets the needs of the area. And I suppose for us, it's a really, really welcome approach, and it maybe changes the playing pitch for us here locally, in that we'll have an opportunity to be able to shape the way the economy is and the way we want it to be as well. But we're at the very, very early stages of all of this. We attended a workshop on the 15th of October where very tentative plans were outlined and discussed. And we've been looking at what other councils are doing as well. So at a very early stage. But we know that DFE have produced guidance for councils on how they should be established, their composition and governance of the local economic partnerships. But we're still working our way around as to what way that would look here as well. There has been a very tight time frame put in place. The Department for the Economy are asking us to come back with partnership details by December 2024. But we know that we need to take a bit of time to get this right because there are a number of partnerships already out there. We have the Labour Market Partnership, we have the Community Planning Partnerships, lots of other things going on. So we really need to take the time to scope this out to make sure that what we have is fit for purpose and that's going to achieve the outcomes that we actually want as well. So this is for information. It's a moving feast all the time. Some councils have gone forward and made suggestions as to how their LEP would be done, and others haven't. So we're scoping out with all the other councils just to make sure that we pick and we go with as members and as a committee the best model that meets the needs of this region as well.
Thank you, Nicola. Councillor O'Halloran, you your hand up.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Nicola. Nicola, I noticed that there's the reference to the restructuring of Invest NI as part of this, and you know, I'm just cautious. I welcome the initiative where councils and communities more involved in the economic development. I'm just conscious that, for example, lands owned by Invest NI. Where is that going to fall in within this? Is there going to be a greater collaboration between council and Invest NI in relation to that? And like, for example, in Armagh City, there's very little economic development lands left, and I wouldn't want us to be in a position where it is basically handed over to the council to run this partnership, and then if council want lands, then for economic development, council have to procure. So it would be grateful if there was some sort of, whenever we are going back to the department, that there was some sort of clarity in relation to the relationship between this new partnership and Invest NI. And whenever we're doing that, if we could maybe get an analysis of the lands around the borough, which Invest NI own, and which is available for investment.
Thank you, Councillor O'Halloran.
Yeah, through you, Chair, really, we don't have a lot of clarity around the lands issue. We know that Invest NI will be one of our key stakeholders within what we want to bring forward. But we'll be keeping a close eye, as you know, on lands and land availability and future land opportunities that might come up as well. And in relation to getting a list of the lands that are owned by Invest NI, etc., I can do that and circulate that. To have that on record, yes, Chair.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Savage. Is it interested?
Yeah, just conflict of interest in 4.3 there. Remember a piece for a reason. Just if I could elaborate there on that too. The last time Invest NI were in, presented us, they did present us the land maps. So that's on record there and on the system.
Thank you. And Councillor McLeod?
Yes, sure. Thanks for letting me in. I suppose similar to the previous figure, just to give a declaration of interest on these Borough region board member.
Thank you. Sure. Councillor Albert?
I'm on, I think, the members forum of East Borough region as well.
Sure, I'm also a member of the members forum.
Maybe ask who's not. Councillor McGrath. Councillor McGrath is a Peace Plus.
Peace Plus.
Councillor Savage, Peace Plus. Me as well, Chair.
Yeah.
Councillor Savage, Peace Plus, and I'm a Peace Plus as well. So maybe give me a moment just to. 3 then, Nicola.
You, Chair,
It's a good news story.
This is a good news story. As you know, we as a council are part of East Borough region, and it's a number of about 10 different councils working together. to make an application to the Special EU Programmes Body, looking to address the digital divide and catalyse economic development, inclusivity, and balanced regional development. So an application was made by all the partners, and to cut a long story short, we've been advised that over £6 million has been granted to this unique partnership. Our allocation of that is 720 odd thousand euro. However, there is a little bit that we need to just do negotiation on, because 190 odd thousand of that was taken off by SEUPB. Funding is 100% funding. There may be a match contribution of up to about 40% towards an officer, but again, we don't have a lot of clarity on that at all. But the project's central objective is really about transforming underutilised public buildings into vibrant digital hubs, and each with a unique focus designed to meet individual needs. So every council area has got a very unique project that, whenever you put it all together, SEUPB felt it helped address this digital divide. So you can see there within the report the number of councils involved in it all. So for our council area, our project is a new incubation and learning hub in Borough Business and Community Centre. And we hope that the centre will be rejuvenated into a launch pad for new ideas and digital skills development, looking at nurturing innovation and providing space for learning and developing digital skills. So we think it's going to really transform Borough, and see it will be a hub for learning, but also for anybody wanting to hot desk or to start up their own business with all the new tech on site, and the space specifically designed for entrepreneurs as well. You'll see there, as part of the appendices, we have sketch drawings that were done in the early days. Now, the application was made a while ago, and things have changed slightly, but you get the idea of what we're trying to achieve. And we've taken a lot of learning from other places that we've been to see as council, and put it together, and to make the most of the space and to make it an exciting and inviting space as well that will meet the needs of entrepreneurs and learners now and also into the future as well.
Thank you. And Councillor Holland? You're still on mute there, Councillor Holland. Some said to leave it, but I thought of it.
Yeah. Sorry, look, first of all, thank you, Nicola, and thank you, Chair. Just reiterate, already declared an interest as a member of the East Border Region Members Forum. Can I just ask about site selection, how we arrived with this particular venue? Because I know there was quite a bit of work done over the previous mandates around digital hubs.
Thank you, Councillor Holland.
Absolutely, yes. There was a lot of discussion around sites and what the selections would be. It had to be a public building that was underutilised. There was also a requirement with regard to the population figure as well. So that narrowed it down to Borough. I haven't got all the details in front of me, but I know population was a key factor, which meant that only Borough could go forward in this regard.
Chair, if you wouldn't mind, can we be circulated with that selection criteria and the officer report, whatever it went to committee for this to be decided?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Cayman, some information, we're all happy to note. Thank you. We're moving on then to agenda item 5.1, a letter of offer from the Arts Council of Northern Ireland and Brian Johnson. Don't take us to that. Thanks, Brian.
Chair, good evening, members. A slightly smaller amount of money, so the team made an application to the Arts Council for a rural engagement arts programme, and received a letter of offer for £8,700. And the project is called Lochshore Live, so it's working with two community groups in Macquarie Community Hall and Lochnaid Boating Heritage Association. So over 9 months, artists will work with these groups, on a program. I think there's 24 engagements or whatever within the program. So the recommendation for members is that members accept the letter of offer from the Arts Council from this program for the Lochshore Lives Arts Project. Thank you.
You, Brian. Okay, members, closure and the seconder for this one. Proposed by Councillor Lavery.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I think it's great to see any kind of investment in the arts, but particularly in those rural areas where there's going to be a lack of facilities. So we can act as a catalyst for people maybe going through isolation and things to come together and and, create beautiful things, no doubt.
Thank you. That was a seconder.
I'll be secretary.
Who's up, sorry? Councillor Marrow, thank you. Second, members, you all agreed? Great, thank you. And then agenda item 5.2, another information, and Brent's going to take us just through the second quarter report on tourism and marginal culture.
Thank you, Chair. And I'll just draw your attention to a few things that I was keen to get your input on. One is particularly around the Effie William Gallery, and it actually came up at the council meeting. Alderman Burns brought it up at the council meeting when DFI were presenting. So it was the removal of signage by DFI from the A1 for the Effie William Gallery. And you'll see some of the comments we're starting to get. We are noting those, and we had said to DFI we would keep a record of issues. And there are other aspects to look at, and again, the chair suggested looking at trees, which we're doing. But again, it is causing a problem, and the works that if I jump onto the Effie McWilliam Levelling Up project, members will recall that we were able to secure just in the region of £4 million towards the redevelopment of the gallery. The works are due to start now December, January. We're just through the tendering process. And again, it's just trying to avoid confusion. The place is closed. And then one of the appendices, Appendix 4, shows all the signs that were removed, some without any consultation. And we had paid for those signs like 5-6 years ago. So again, we've made some representations into DFI, and we've met with officials, but they don't seem willing to make change. So just want to draw your attention to that. Again, you'll see through the other venues just in terms of throughput. I wanted to mention again, just on the back of the last report, and there's a section at the back of that report about community arts. And members will recall when we withdrew funding from venue and put it down, and it was to be more work into community arts. And so we have employed a community arts officer who's been in place now for nearly a year. And again, he's really getting some traction, as Councillor Lavery said, particularly in the rural areas. And there's some of the projects outlined there. There's been a project in Donaghcloney, and you'll see again there was a project between Craigavon Community Centre and Kilkenny and Jubilee Club, and Craigavon Health and Mind, which again there was a really big launch event for that. And it's really getting into communities and engaging people who have been very isolated in some cases in a really meaningful way. So that programme is working really well. So those are the main elements I just wanted to draw your attention to. That's okay. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Holland.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Brian. Look, I just note and welcome the visitor numbers through both through all events, but particularly the Marketplace Theatre there in Armagh, and also the numbers there for Navan Centre. Previously, there was a discussion about bringing forward development plans or proposals, which for the investment in the Navan Centre, and just ask where that is. I know there was a previous bid. I don't know if it was shared island or levelling up fund, but just be interested to see whether that's currently sitting.
Thank you.
And thank you, Councillor Hanlon. You were correct. There was an initial application into levelling up. Same time we bid for the money for Effie McWilliam, which was unsuccessful. The bid was in the region of £5 million for an overhaul of the offering within the site. And then subsequently we have submitted the same information into Shared Island and are waiting a response. So in the meantime, it's been more smaller scale revenue based interventions rather than wider capital interventions. But there are plans in place if funding becomes available. And yeah, so
Thank you, Brian. Councillor Kevin Savage.
Sure, Brian, just back to the William signage. The last I had heard from the department I contacted was that the signage was not in accordance with our policy, which was called RSPPG EU29, signing of tourist attractions and facilities. And I was told then that there would be an opportunity to design new signs which were required for the relocated tourist information centre to include words for the F.E. McWilliams. And these new signs are going to be planned for the site on the North Fine Slip Road. Is there any more update on that, or what was the last you heard from officials?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor Savage. I thank you for your help in that regard as well. We met with the officials recently, and one of the asks was that on the A1, there was a strip along the Game of Thrones signs to indicate Effie McWilliam Gallery, because that's the signs that were taken away effectively. And DFI were to look at that, but when we met with them, they just hadn't looked at that, so, and that doesn't seem to be on the table as an offer. There's actually, some of the signs that were taken away, they're offering to replace, we'll pay for them again. So there's one or two additional signs, but again, there was one sign that was just removed, and the city will put that back up again by the good forest.
Sure, I propose like we send a council letter to just to give it a bit of gravitas to see what we get some sort of, because I don't want to really pay for signs we've already paid for. But like buying your own property, you know,
But it's so important that they are there.
it is,
Because it's ultimately, it shouldn't be paying game, but we do need to actually make sure that there's some way that's involved fairly quickly, because once the work starts, you know, I suggested we put it on the same day, but if I got a second on the side of it, you know, and I'm sure that we want that, but we do need to have draw attention to that. That's the reason I thought that the heads and the trees could be discussed. Right, welcome back to it.
Thank you, Chair. Just excuse me here. That's one time. You know, across the detail the way others are in the Banbridge area. Surely DFA were transporting aid were, you know, consulted us when we first put the signs up and we paid for them, that they put them up. And they just said that the contract thing something after they put them up. They've taken them down. And where did they go? And why did they take them down if they agreed to put them up in the first place? I'm completely confused.
Yeah, I think so.
DFA.
A lot of different talk, I think we all are, pushing back and forth, but Brad, if you want to just.
If it fits, and that was for us, that the signage didn't fit with the policy. However, the team that put the signage up were the team that had written the policy for Northern Ireland signage.
It's more cinema.
You know what, like, I just, probably were to leave me.
Sounds nonsense.
Okay. Thank you, I think we'll all agree that. Give letters and.
Yeah.
Alderman Burns.
Yeah, because sure, if you look at the signage that they took down, the signage that they replaced it with, there is very, very little difference. It's a brown part of the sign. So I can understand how, if that fits the criteria, how that one doesn't. But like I do agree that we should send them an official letter, because I have heard nothing else from my resident towns, and I was expecting to hear from them before now. But unfortunately, I haven't heard back.
Certainly, and as I said, I'm happy for it to come. I think it's probably best to write the minister then on this. We're not getting anywhere. Honestly, we all agree.
Yeah.
We all agree to the minister or something.
I have a letter from the minister here.
At least we'll have his address. So I think that's it. Need to go to a copy and maybe the local area here as well. Alderman Woodruff,
Yeah, sure. I think the discussion has indicated sufficient level of discussed that this letter should go from yourself and the chief executive and from the council as a corporate body to the minister and ask him to correct the situation. Because really it's bizarre.
I think we do a copy of the. We all agree with that? Yep. Yeah. Councillor O'Hanlon, yes, go ahead.
Chair, can I just check? Normally, when we go for brown signs, the local authority needs to actually make the application. Is that not normally the case, or at least it needs to be supported by council? So obviously, if an application went in to put on the Game of Thrones signage, it got support from council somewhere or other. So let's see if we could establish that. And secondly, have you any idea how much the signs cost that went up? Because again, as far as I'm aware, whenever you make an application for a brown sign, you get an invoice in return.
No, Councillor Hanlon, they are a significant cost, because there was another issue on the M1 when we looked to replace signs. Yes, and the cost was significant. And EFI were very pragmatic the first time when the brown and white signs went up, in that aligned with another road closure, so we didn't have to pay for road closure as well. So it was a good partnership approach the first time putting the signs up.
Yeah. Councillor Holland, you know, another part of my question, or you?
Chair, and I think there was, I remember previous Councillor McAlinton making an issue, the same issue around the Kinnigo and facilities down around there, and Oxford Island in relation to the M1. So look, I'd be keen just to get a bottom of the costs, and if need be, send DFI the invoice for the return of the monies.
Okay, thank you.
If it's there in terms of the sign, they need to return the money then that they charged us.
Thank you. Thank you. Just then, the other part of it was about this council support when they're doing it, I'm not sure not, there's maybe you're getting that as well.
Well, with respect to the Game of Thrones, since we didn't know that we're going up, so generally there is a process, as Councillor Hanlon outlined, where we are involved in that, but it was literally being on the one we released since ago.
Thank you. Okay, members, we're content then, we'll move on from that item. Agenda item 6, so take a proposer and a secretary to go into committee, Alderman Mutry and Councillor Savage. Members and online viewers, in accordance with Schedule 6 of the Local Government Act, exempt information, we're now moving into confidential session of the council. This means that we will be turning off the public feed of the meeting. This will be returned to the meeting as we started. And I now ask ICT officer to please turn off the feed and confirm to me when the confidential section of this meeting can proceed. Thank you. Okay, members, just before we went into confidential, I omitted agenda item 6, which is correspondence, but we do have none, so it's okay, but just want to make it on the record through there. We're now under a final item of any other business, and we don't have any tonight, so thank each one of you for being here tonight. Be careful going home in the fog. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.